Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, continuing our focus on the developments in Rivers State. Emeka Onohwakpor joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
We're looking at this scenario. Access going on in Rivers State gives everyone cause for concern because what both parties seem to be doing, generating so much reaction across board. From what you've seen, let's start off with this rally. What's your assessment of it? Because the police says we didn't grant anybody any permits to hold any such rally, while the other people said, look, we applied, it was just a rally, not a political one. I mean, no campaign was going to be held there. So the argument is going back and forth. But what do you think of that?
Well, I think it was an unnecessary reaction from the police because people have a right to gather. And as long as they've not started constituting themselves into a breach of public peace, they should not have been attacked. What the police did was to make them look so important or make them look like it was a threat. People can gather. Churches gather every day.
Yeah, but churches and this are two different things exactly. You see, because this is about politics.
Yes.
The gathering was going to hold in Obiakbo local government area, and then the police was, from what they say, look, they just wanted to forestall, but they tear gas them bottom line eventually. And you say what? That shouldn't have happened?
It shouldn't have. People have a right to assemble. It's an overflogged fact that the Constitution guarantees it. When Gani went to the Supreme Court on it, the Supreme Court said you don't even need the permission of anybody. And I watched the Commissioner of Police arrogating to himself powers he doesn't have. He's saying, I said I didn't give this, I didn't give that. It's wrong. If you go to any police station or any police command, the Constitution did not envisage that police would be giving permission to rallies. Neither does the Police Act, because the Police Act has form. If you want to apply for bail, for instance, there is a set form. If you want to apply for release of certain exhibits, there is a form for it. There are different forms. The police has no form for permission for rally. So it's not something that was envisaged to be part of their jobs.
So why hasn't anyone, because this Rivers State matter has been on for a while, because, I mean, Rivers doesn't shy away from court matters. Why haven't they challenged any of this or gone to seek contempt or to remand somebody in prison for a violation of the law?
You see, it's part of what we are complaining about. Because if you look at what the man did, if it's outside his purview as a policeman, sue him in his name. I belong to the school of thought that says, look, if you leave what you've been assigned to do and you do what is not ordinarily under your job, you should pay for it personally. Okay, so in his name he can be sued, but as a police force, can they be sued? Of course they can be sued. We've had cases against the police, the IG of police. I have a plethora of cases against them. Some of them we've even already gotten judgment. So, and they are complying. If you don't take these people to court, they will use self-help and you cannot even match them. Your last bet is to go to court. Why the people in Rivers State are afraid of going to court, I don't know. But
it's the same Rivers State that the High Court was bombed.
Yes.
Does that suggest something about the judiciary? Because time and again they send us press releases of how somebody is trying to obtain a certain injunction from a certain judge in Rivers, and these are worrisome releases and commentary.
You see, if it so happens, because I don't have those details, that you believe that they want to get an injunction from a particular judge, there's a process of setting it aside. You set it aside and you petition that judge.
Scrupulously, as a matter of fact.
Yes. People do it every day. I had a case where somebody took a matter to court against my client in a magistrate court. I told them, look, I'm not even going to bother with it. We appealed against it and we petitioned the magistrate. It might be slow, but it's your better choice than resorting to chaos. Because when it spreads, it will affect everybody.
Let's talk about the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, because we have seen him in the news loads of time lately, and for every time he's appeared, people have actually said he hasn't actually done pretty well. And from what we saw yesterday, you say it is illegal to have actually dispersed an unruly crowd in that manner.
Well, if the crowd was unruly, yes. I was not on the ground, you know. But once they have not caused a breach of peace, you have no business dispersing them. Let them do their thing and go. Within a few hours, they will leave. It is where they refuse to leave, they constitute themselves into nuisance. Then you have a duty to step in. And you can even step in without so much violence. You can call their leaders and say, look, disperse your people so that we don't step in. And they have to. If they refuse, you arrest their leader.
What can they do now in this case, since they were, according to the crowd, they were peaceful until the police came, and we have seen from pictures that some were actually harassed. Can they sue the police of Rivers State?
Why not? You see, the right to assemble is as important as the right to life. They are in Cap 4 of the Constitution. So don't take one out from the other. These people's rights have been breached. And they seem to be thinking that, oh, it's a minor right. There's no right that is minor. So if it was minor, it would not have been in that important section.
If I may come in here, the right to assemble police against a political rally, because that's what the police commissioner said they were having. I mean, and the ban on political rallies has not been lifted. So see, how do you deal with the two?
Let us not confuse political rallies with campaigns.
I'm talking based on what the police commissioner said.
Yeah, the police commissioner, with due respect to him, may not even be a lawyer. And even if he was a lawyer, he may not have averted his mind to the difference between a rally and a political campaign. People can hold rallies, but they cannot campaign yet because it's not yet time. You cannot say we shouldn't hold rallies. And what is the definition of a rally? When PDP holds their meeting in Abuja, they have over 40 people in attendance. Their neck is over 100. So are you going to come and disrupt their meeting?
This is in Rivers State because it's volatile.
You see, why is it volatile? By whose definition? If there is war in that place, it's different. Then you apply a new set of laws. There's no situation of war yet. There's no breakdown of civil peace yet. It's just some unnecessary things that it's not even helping the man on the street. If we say we are political, we have a political lineage and we gather to address ourselves, definitely people must be meeting. The number of people that meet should not become a problem. If two people meet on the street and they cause chaos, they should be arrested. It doesn't mean because there are only two people. So the important thing is, are these people disrupting public peace? If they are, you have a right to disperse them and even prosecute the people that organize them. In the absence of that, if there's no law known to Nigeria that they have breached, they should go for their rights.
What does the law say about passing the budget in Government House?
Well, you see, it all comes down to whether that place is a proper place to do it. You know, I'm not in a position to know whether it was properly done or not.
I don't understand.
You see, for purposes of making laws, the National Assembly, the State Assembly, as in the case of Rivers, will be the proper place. But where the people gathered and say, look, we have, you know, they have a right to make laws. Probably they passed a motion that say, look, we are now...
No, the budget was presented and passed the same day.
Yes. It could be done.
So the president can present the budget in Aso Rock and pass it the same day?
If the National Assembly moves, you see, the place of meeting is not like a church can be somebody's room, depending on the nomenclature we want to call the place. All we need to do is pass an enabling motion that enables us to respect that place as our hallowed chambers where we can pass such laws.
What happens to separation of powers between the executive and the legislature?
Oh, the executive has not done I'm not making a case for them anyway, but they have not passed the law themselves. They presented it to the assembly members. Assembly members thought it fit. And this is why what is happening in Rivers State should not be happening. Allow different people, allow different strata, different systems, different sectors to play out. It takes time to get these things properly done. Allow the judiciary do their part, allow the legislators do theirs, allow the executive do theirs. Don't stay in somewhere and be afraid. Because you're afraid of what they want to do, you now come to check it through an equally unacceptable means. It doesn't augur well for the future. And that is why you see this letter writing that is going on in the country.
Some of the members in the state say, look, that their standing order does not permit for such to be brought the same day, passed the same day, and they didn't even see any of those. If that were the case, is that correct?
You see, these orders can be suspended by one motion. You see, that's the...
Yeah, but there's no knowledge of the suspension of the order.
Well, then let them go to court. If you feel a law has been wrongly passed, or is oppressive, or it runs counter to your standing order as recognized by the Constitution, you go to court and have it set aside.
Thank you for coming on. Emeka Onohwakpor, a legal practitioner. We're back after this. We've got another perspective coming on. Join us again.